Hello everybody. Something a bit different in this video. Now, I've got Land Rover Discovery 3. I've been having issues with the suspension, and it's been going on a while now. I've done quite a few things, which I'll do another video. When I finally get it going, I'll do another video and I'll explain how I've done it and what I've changed and what I've repaired, things like that. But at the moment in time, I'm getting one message on the code reader saying that the pressure relief valve, or whatever it's called, I think it's pressure relief, which is this part here. This is an air intake. It runs to a fresh air filter at the back of the car, and this bit is where it ejects the air into like a round canister, which looks like an old toilet system bowl, you know, the ball cock thing. It looks like that kind of thing. But every time I try to get the car to raise, it goes into a fault mode, which is showing this fault. And I've looked into it, and it's saying that this can, a number of things, the solenoid there can fail. I have tested that, but I will test it on this video to show you what I mean, how I know it's working. But it said there's a piston inside here, and apparently there's a spring on it. Well, I imagine once the solenoid tells it to open or lift or drop the spring, whichever way the piston goes, it then releases the excess air out of here to allow the car to fill the airbags and everything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'll take that off and I'll test it and show you what I mean while it's working. And then I'm going to get into here. I'm going to try and remove the piston, because I've been told that it can rust up inside because it has been sat a while, and it says if it hasn't been used for a while, they can rust up and it'll lock the valve shut, basically. So if that solenoid's actuating, it's not going to make no difference. It's not going to open the valve to release the pressure. I have tried it on the car by disconnecting these two from the actual pipes they run to. That one is sucking air in, the bottom one there. I can feel it sucking the air in, but that's because the compressor's running. But it's not. There's nothing ejecting out of this hole here, so it's what's making me think it's seized up in there. So what I shall do, I shall get the tools that I need, and I'll be back with you, and we'll just start stripping. Right, the first thing I'm going to do, just going to take this solenoid out here and show you, to test it and show you what I mean, how I know it's working. We'll just take that away from there. Try and get this moved out of the way a little bit, just to show you this bit. Right, that's the solenoid there. Now, it doesn't shoot a rod out or anything like that. It's got a couple of holes, and all it does is change the pressure. When it activates inside, it changes the pressure in here, where the piston is, to give it that little helping hand to open. And the way you test these is it's running onto this plug here. To move this back over a bit, and it's the blue and white wire here, so it's these two pins at the very end. Now what I'll do first is check that the electrical side's working. So I'm going to need my voltage test, power supply. and I shall get my I'll try it with this one, which is a multimeter, but it's more for testing. This one, it's not. So what I'll do, I'll set it to the ohms. Now you can see it says OL. That's open. Basically, if it stays like that, or I get a zero, just a zero, then the electrical side of this solenoid is kaput. So blue and white there. So I'll bridge this to that one and bridge that to that one. Now, as you can see, and just get it settled, I'm getting 4.5, 0.04547. So that's telling me the electrical system's okay on that. So we'll turn that off. And then we'll get to my power supply. Now, I'm hoping you'll be able to hear this. Because what I need to do, I'll just plug this in. So I'm hoping you can see that there. That there. Right, I've got my probes there. So I'll set this to 12.6 volts, around that. So that's what that runs on, 12 volts. So what I shall do is find the pins again, which are the top two there. I shall stick this on that pin, and then all I'm going to do is touch the other pin with this bit, and I'm hoping you're going to hear a clicking from that solenoid. Don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear a slight click, and you can slightly hear the air changing coming out of it. So that's working. So that's that. That's that side of the pressure relief done, because that's working, so it can't be that. So then what we'll have to do now is get into this bit and see if I can find anything in here what could be stopping the piston from moving to let the pressure out of this hose here, because it's definitely not doing it. We've tried multiple times on the car with it fastened to the car, and it's not letting anything out of this at all. And I imagine that's why it's not letting it put air in, and it's throwing a fault up, because it's sensing that there's actually air in the system. And what it's doing, it's not letting you do it, because the car is panicking, basically thinking that there's too much pressure there, or it doesn't want to blow the airbags up too far and end up bursting the airbags on the suspension. So it's kind of a fail-safe. But that's not helping me get my car level. So I'm afraid I have to do this and see if I can sort it out. I don't think been told that sometimes the compressor can be too weak and it throws problems up, but I don't think it is. I really don't. The compressor does run. Check the fuses and the relays for it as well. Right, so we've got a big spring which sits in there, a little spring, and an O-ring. That O-ring looks okay, so I'll try and leave that in place there. But I can't see how could get to that piston that way. There's got to be a piston in there. There's got to be. So what I might have to do is take this head off here. Get to the intake bit and see if there's anything in there and blocking it. But I have been told that there is a little white gauze inside there which can get blocked. So I'm just trying to find one of my picks with a shallow bend on it. That'll do, that should do. Hopefully I can get, it said there is a gauze in here. Don't know if it's actually in that part, to be honest with you. I think it might be in the part where the, yeah. In here, there's a little O-ring what goes, so I'll put that on the end of the solenoid because that's where it sits. And then inside this hole, I'll try and turn it around so you can see it. There's a little gauze there, which I've just got hold of there. It's been a bit hard to get out. Try not to damage it in any way. So I've got to put it back in. So I'm just trying to feed it out so I can get hold of it. Now that there, apparently they can get blocked up with powder. Because inside here there's some crystals for, well, they're like pellets, but it's for the take the moisture out the air. So I've changed those. I've done a service on that, but it could have still blocked up this part because some of the powders were a bit they were a bit powdery in the end and not into like little balls anymore. So it could have sucked some through. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'm going to take this pipe off because this runs to where the crystals are. So we'll take this off, make sure this pipe's clear. I'm going to soak that in some IPA, some alcohol, just let it break down anything what's in the filter and let it dry out. But these seals look okay. There doesn't seem to be any splits in them or anything. So I don't think they're causing any of the problems. But yeah, I'm going to get this off and then I might need to remove this. I presume this is the air intake, but down under this one, this will be the motor for the rotor arm, what will send the piston up and down this way to compress the air. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, this will be the head of where the piston is probably. So I'm going to take this apart down to here and just make sure the pistons, valves look all right, and everything isn't blocked in there, because I'm imagining there must be some piston in this bit as well with a spring on, which makes this operate, letting the air in and letting the air out basically. And it doesn't look clear through that hole down there, so I'm not sure what's inside there. So that's why I want to get it apart to have a good look. But first I'm going to take this pipe out. I'm going to soak this in some IPA with that and try and see, just in case there's anything blocking that pipe. So yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Okay, remove this. This is the intake that goes in there. I'll remove this, which has got a spring in, and it is a little rusty, but not majorly. I've took the kineto, I'm trying to remember what it's called now. Basically this is what's got the crystals in it, stops it from takes any moisture out. So that's to come off. So now I'm going to take these out, try and get the head off, and I can see what's inside this part, see if there's any more springs or anything that could be frozen up or anything like that. So found myself an 8mm spanner, so I'll try and get these off now. I'll loosen them first so they come out evenly, just in case there is a spring inside there. Right, there's a little air pipe there. I'll just disconnect that. Right, what's this here? Right, so that's the piston inside there. That's what the compressor obviously pumps up and down. So that's working okay, that the compressor works. So I'll put that to one side. So I can't really get into there because unless that plate comes off. Oh yes, it does. Alright, so there's a plate there. There's another seal there. Now this bit, so let me get my bearings now. This bit is the intake, and that's the outlet. So I don't know whether that comes out as well. No. We've got to kind of a dead end here really, because there's no way into any of that. So I don't know. That's clear. That there's a little notches there for that bit, and that seems pretty clear. I will clean it all out anyway. But I don't know if I can get this out or anything. Looks like it might come out, but at this moment in time I can't think how. Because when I go down this is the part what's not letting air out. It is passing air. Oh well, I can't get into that, so I'm just gonna have to try and soak it a bit and just see if we can get some RPA through it, and to just make sure there isn't any muck or grime holding anything. And then I'll check everything properly. You see the heads, I've just took this will be where the piston goes up. The seals on the pistons look alright, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'll put that back where it was. Yeah, so just give it a clean up. I mean, I found this though. Now this is where the condenser pot, whatever it's called, what collects the moisture. This O-ring's a little bit added, I think. Just try and get that off. Yeah, as you can see there, it's been crushed down there, and it's all coming away there. It's had it. It's really gone that. So I'll find an O-ring to replace that, because you never know, it might not be building any pressure up because it's trying to run through the system and leaking out of there. I don't know. So I'll just have to hope that helps. But I can't see anything obvious. Like I say, that bit looks like it could possibly come out, but because it looks like there's a gap around this bit. But I don't want to be. Actually, what I'll do, I'll come back. I'm going to have a quick scout around and see if I can find any information about this and see if I can get into this part. And I'll come back to you. Okay, I've had a look through and there's actually no way getting in, but what I have done, this is the piston for the pressure relief valve. And it does pull out. And it was full, it was absolutely full to bits with white silicone grease in here. Now, everything I've looked at, they've said just put a smear of grease around this piston, around the seals. I don't know whether that is a end cap, rubber end cap. Now that looks a bit like indented, and what I've seen, they're flat. So I might need to buy a kit to replace this if it doesn't work, and replace all the seals. But what I've done up to now, I've just sprayed some cleaner stuff through all this and let it dry naturally, just so it can, you know, if there's anything trapped in those pipes. I mean, when I blow down them all now, they do sound like they're pretty clear. That's the main one, that's the exhaust bit. So there is, it's cleaned out. So what I'm going to do is tidy that up, put it all back, together. And if it doesn't work, like I say, I'll find the seal kits for everything and get it all serviced with new seal kits and things. So that's back in. I'll let that dry before I do anything like that. So this bit I'm going to put to one side. So there's all that there. There's a rubber piston for the intake. There's a spring with that as well, so keep all that safe. That's the O-ring that looks a bit dodgy, so I'm going to try and find an O-ring for that. Just clean that plate down. So I will build all that back up. But what I'm going to do while I've got it all stripped down is I'm going to bring the motor back. Now, that pipe is still, it's not hard or anything. It's clear, so that's okay. So I'm going to take this off. Now, that's really nice and smooth in there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plate off. I'm going to try and remove the piston, the con rod, everything off. It's because inside here there'll be a cam on the motor, but sends the piston up and down. So I'm going to try and take this off, take that off the end of the motor, and then there is some screws here to split the motor from the cam. And I've seen on some videos that it says do your best while you're stripping down. You just take the motor out and give it a good spray inside with electrical cleaner, just so everything's quite good. Plus, I need to take this apart because I want to see if there's any play in the cams or anything. There's no play in that piston on the conrod, so that's okay. The seals on the piston look okay. So yeah, I'll get that stripped down and give it a quick clean out. Then it's just put it back together and hope I've dislodged something what's been blocking it, or like I say, if not, I'll have to buy the seal kits and see if I can fix it in some way. But yeah, we'll get this plate off, get this off first. It's just Phillips screws. I'm hoping they'll all come out pretty well. Right, so we take that off. There's a seal in there that looks a bit flat in places, but it's not too bad. I don't know. I don't think there's any. No, there's no play in that bit. Might be a little bit in the motor. That motor doesn't sound too healthy when you spin it. It feels a bit. So what I'll do, I'll remove this. Try and get the conrod out. That's the right size. That's T20. Okay. Right, so that sounds horrible. So I'm just wondering whether that's not running at as well as it should. So I've got to get to these. So there's four more there. I think they're the same size, or are they a bit bigger? No, they're a bit bigger than. I did have the one out before, which is here. Is this the one? Yeah, that's it. I might use this flexi with it. I think that's. Try that, because they are down a bit. That's one. So I'm hoping this splits pretty easy. So no, it doesn't. Well, that's not going to help, because that's all those are stuck down, and that one's floating around. So that's going to obviously stick to the motor when it turns on, instead of staying on the outside. If you can see, these are fastened, that's not. So that could be a problem. So what I'm going to do is try and stick that back on somehow. I don't know how they're fixed on, but they're obviously glued on somehow. So I have to clean that out and try and re-stick this on, because I can't have that touch hitting on this, because it's just it's not going to work properly, and that might be the reason why it's not working properly. So I could have found the problem. Right, I'll leave it there for a second and I'll have a think. Right, okay, I've got them back in now, glued it in, so it looks pretty solid now. They're not moving anywhere. So I'll go ahead and put all this back together. There's no play in that bearing. It seems to be, there's no squeaking there or anything, so yeah, I'll get this all back together now. Right, it's all back together now, so what I'll do, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go and get it connected back to the car, test it out, and then I'll be back soon with a follow-up video and let you know how it's gone. Yeah, so we'll take it from there. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, can you like, subscribe, comment below, and share if you know anyone who this video found interesting, or help them out. Alright, I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.